Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon on Season 5 on Episode 9. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty okay in its own way. From a certain point of view, it looked really simple, but it might be a little bit more complicated than it has to be, depending on someone else's point of view. So, if anything else, let's just get this started right away. We have to it that Bel Crano realizes who he is, and later on, before he could think of anything further, we get to see some chaos happening at Freya Familia's place right now. And this is because a Ryu the Lion is set free, and someone gave her some weapons and powers to cause some trouble. Eventually, we have to it that Hestia is actually making moves of her own, which I will reveal later, but not before Bel is told to stay in the room and stay safe. After that, we get to see Bel being escorted or possibly going to another room. And later on, he meets Horn there. We get to see Horn and Bel get into a little talk with each other, but Horn herself becomes crazy and psycho and hysterical. Maybe hysterical might be the word, although it might be another term of crazy or going a little upset, I guess. But I guess from here, Horn really gets upset at Bel for what he has done to Freya and her. Because if you guys remember correctly, Horn is connected with Freya in a psychological link, if you remember correctly. It was said about it in this season, if you remember. However, because of that link, this causes Seer to be a little unstable, making her realize why would Freya love Bel very much, and Horn blames Bel very much and tries to kill him with his weapon, his own dagger. But when it comes to the knife or dagger that Bel had, she wasn't swinging it in a very skillful manner or in a very good proficiency or in a professional way how to use it. She was just trying to slash at him while Bel just dodges her attacks effortlessly, while Horn pretty much managed to get Bel to the ground and wanted to choke the living out of him, but she couldn't. Therefore, Horn tried to tell Bel to look at the hints of what's going on, and that Freya is actually Seer, and she is Seer as well. By that time, we have to it that Horn tells Bel to save Freya, please, before having to have Bel hold his knife and stab herself with it while Bel is forced to do so. Well, before Horn drove that blade into her chest as punishment for what she's done. And of course, when it came to this, Bel promises Horn or Seer that Horn is transformed into right now, that he will save her and Freya. We have to it that Freya realizes what's going on and tells Ottar to save Horn. Although Ottar tells her, you know what she has done, right? And Freya's like, I don't care, just save her. I can't have her disappear on me or die on me randomly. So, even though after all that Horn has done, we have to it that Freya does care for Horn, but even so, yeah. Anyways, when it came to this scene right here with Hestia, she actually had a plan thanks to Hermes' help. We have to it that the wood that was spread throughout the entirety of Owario was actually Hermes and Hestia's plan. Not to mention, it had Hestia's blood on all the wood that she spread out. And by that time, it turned into what is called a furnace, I guess you could call it. And because of that, Hestia uses that power and manages to use her flames or her powers as a goddess, and manages to get everyone out of the charm of Freya. By that time that happened, everyone remembers what really happened and they get very angry and upset. They go, oh hell no, now you gone done it, Freya, you're in trouble now. Now, they have every right to be mad, and they are starting a riot, a literal riot ready to literally go to war or cause chaos. that's how bad they're angry. Because they go like, oh my gosh, Belle is not part of the Freya familia. What the hell are we doing to him? And even Ice, who finally remembers, including Tiona and Tione, they go like, oh hell no, you've gone done it now. Even Bete is getting ready to face against Alan from the Freya familia, and so forth. So we have to it that Hestia shows up after doing her spell or goddess power and apologizes to Belle. We have to it that knowing that Freya is in trouble, Freya declares to Hestia, let's have a war game. And the episode ends off there. I'm like, oh boy, here we freaking go. I'm pretty sure it might have been hinted at that it was going to happen with the Freya and Hestia familia possibly fighting with each other, because Freya's infatuation with Belle tremendously. And the way how Freya was in a very tight bind, because I forgot to mention the scene where Belle is trying to help Freya out, but Freya refuses to have any help at all. And Belle asks her, then why did you cry when I rejected you when you were seer? Is that fake too? Are you serious? And I was hoping there might be a scene where Belle's like, so after I rejected you, you trying to force me into your familia. Is that not enough to show why you're so upset? I corrupted you. I want to save you. I don't know. One thing's for certain is that when it came to that scene with Belle and Freya, Belle feels responsible for Freya's actions and feels like he needs to make it right. Although Freya is trying to decline and trying not to admit anything, but whatever the case, Freya knew that she can never have Belle fall under her charm, because it's impossible, because Belle's feelings is for someone else, and that alone is Ice, his first love and first crush. And when it came to this really kind of gotten really crazy, whatever the situation is. But all I can really tell you is that in this episode, Horn tries to help Belle out and tells him to save her and Freya, while Freya is having some problems of her own with someone causing trouble with Ryu herself. And later on, Hestia's plan of like eliminating the entire charm effect on all of Awario worked, and now Freya's in trouble. Freya declares a war game against the Hestia familia and gets ready to do battle, hopefully. Well, that's what's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the rest of the episodes right there. Because after this drama of what Freya was trying to do, you know, I mean, there was no way in heck she was going to get away with this. She was going to get busted, and the way how, if one thing is for certain, I can say for sure that if Hestia fell under a Freya's charm, then everything would be terrible. Even if Belle remembers and knows that he's part of the Hestia familia, he's not gonna fall for Freya's charm whatsoever. And whatever. Even so, Freya was very much close to actually possibly ruling the world through her charm alone, but there's only a couple of people who are resilient to her charm, and that is Hestia herself. Hopefully I said that right. Freya's charm couldn't work on Hestia because Hermes told Hestia to raise your divine level up to the maximum. So, looking forward to see how the war game between the Hestia familia and Freya familia goes. But if I have to really be honest with you, Hestia familia will get slaughtered easily, because that is just how strong the Freya familia is. I mean, they have a lot of level 4s to 5s, and then they have a lot of 6s, that's for sure. Not to mention, their strongest captain of all of Freya familia is Otar. So, depending on how these rules are going to go, it's not going to be very pretty. So, we'll find out how it goes. So, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-oo!